In this video, I'm heading out to a remote outback hut in the Mallee country to learn about some of the history of stock grazing in this area and how the old timers got by in such a harsh environment. I experienced the solitude of the land while being surrounded by plenty of wildlife and some incredible outback sunsets. Well, g'day everyone, I'm just here driving in the Mallee country. I'm actually in Murray Sunset National Park, or heading into it, which is Victoria's second largest national park. And I've actually just finished up a big 4-day walkabout, Swagman walkabout trip, so pretty wrecked. So for this one, it's just a little video, just doing some forward driving out into the sandy country, and I want to stay at an old outback hut that's got a bit of history to it, a bit of stockman history to it. So apparently the tracks out here can get pretty sandy, so we'll see how we go. I might have to put some tyre pressure down, but it'll be fun just to test out the new four-wheel drive as well out here, and yeah, give it a go, see what it's like. Very red country out here. For those of you who are wondering, no, this is not going to turn into a four-wheel drive channel. This channel is mostly about hiking and going on walkabouts and doing wild camping and stuff like that. But every now and then it's nice to go out and do a four-wheel drive camp, especially after I've done a really big walk in an area that's quite far away. So it's nice just to go and check out some places four-wheel drive camping. Too easy. Billy goats. Here they go. Wild goats. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, this is my pokey hut. Let's open it, have a look inside. Fantastic. Look at that. That's cool, that there. Here we go. Can sleep here tonight. That'll be a nice sleep for sure. This is beautiful. Unfortunately, that's not allowed to be used anymore. This hut was built in 1962 by an Alan Henschke for a place of shelter in the harsh conditions of the Mallee when driving his mob of cattle across the land. Now it sits in a lonely part of the national park as a relic of the past, but among the wilderness of the outback, it still very much has a homely, welcoming feel to it. The Henschkes were known quite well in the Sunset Country, mustering cattle and performing at local rodeos. And Alan Henschke was the last of the men grazing their cattle in the Murray Sunset area up until the 1990s, which now is all national park. This land was first grazed in the 1850s during the wetter months when water was more available, and was part of the historic Culkine station with the homestead on the Murray River, where whitefellas and local Indigenous mob often worked together on the station. In the 1950s, leases were given for 21-year periods for grazers. It would have been even more remote country out here back then, and still is very wild up to today. No doubt it would have taken a particularly skilled and hardy man to settle in a place like this, and having relics like this hut remain help us remember a little slice of history to the area. Man, it's wild, remote country out here, and just so dry. You can't imagine those first, pastoralists who came in the 1850s and grazed in this area, what it must have been like for them. In the summer months, they wouldn't even come near here because it was too dry and there was no water to be found for them and their cattle. So it was usually the wet months that they'd come here to these areas. And yeah, the fact that it went right up to the late 1900s really, before it was closed off and turned into national park. So got a lot of history of cattle grazing in this area. Tell you what, those old boys did it tough though. Cold can of baked beans for lunch. So I thought I'd just let you know, I've been going through a particular book at the moment. This book, Australia Volume 1, The Pioneer Years, A Pictorial History, written by R.M. Younger. Now I have a range of different historical books that I pore over. Like in most evenings I'm reading history books about Australia so that it can benefit these videos. And this particular one has just got me hooked. It's so captivating and it goes into all these small tiny details about stories about the settlement of this country and how the old fellas lived out here and interactions with the Indigenous as well, and also a lot of history on the Indigenous as well in this book. So it's a wealth of information, but I'll show you a particular page. So the overlanders were basically those men who pushed through from the coast to the interior to explore what was out there and opened up these lands for pastoral lands, which is ultimately what this area was used for pastoral lands for cattle. Great picture here, if you have a look, depicting a scene of an overland party swimming across the Murray River with cattle. And the Murray River is not far away from here, so to think that that's a scene, from a nearby area to here back in the 1800s, it's really cool. I'll just read an excerpt from this book talking about when an overland party has finally made a way through the interior and reaches the town. An overlander's arrival could bring an entire change of fortune to a settlement in need of stock. The first individual who opens a market rides into the district an ill-clothed, way-worn traveller, Gray explained. Presently, it is noised about that an overland party has arrived, that a route from the stock districts has been found, and that the incalculable advantage of abundance of cattle at a cheap rate has been secured. The ill-clothed, way-worn traveller now finds himself at once invested with the dignity of a conqueror. It is not to be wondered at that the young and ardent eagerly embrace a line of life so replete with exciting events and incidents. I love that. Bad boy basking here. He is a big fella. That's one of the biggest ones I've seen. That might be a King Brown. King Brown doing his rounds. Whoa, big boy. So I'm going to have a fire here tonight. I'm going to do a nice big cook up and then I'll sleep in the hut tonight. Now someone did leave some firewood here, which is great. A little bit, but I did bring firewood from home because they do ask you when you come to this particular area to bring firewood, because the area is sensitive and there's a lot of wood that's already been taken from campers. So usually these areas they want you to bring your own firewood. I've got plenty there, so I'm gonna have a good cook up here I reckon tonight. The Allgoods ultralight chair is really good just to be able to chuck in your car and have a chair that doesn't take up much space but is actually really comfy. Look at that. And for dinner tonight, since this place has a bit of history with the old stockmen and cattle grazing, I have myself some T-bone steak. I'll cook that up with some potatoes and some veggies, and yeah, away we go. Now if you've watched my other videos, you know that this is bloody luxury compared to what I do. Having a table and a seat and this kind of meal. I thank the good Lord for this nutrition.
Watching the sunset in what is literally called sunset country was pretty special. To know I'm out here all alone and no one around in a remote area that can be difficult to access invokes a feeling that has me chasing these kinds of experiences. To know that places like this are just existing out in the world while we go about our daily lives is a pretty captivating thought. It makes me want to know what else is out there. It makes me want to learn more about what these places were like for the old timers before us and how they got by out here in country like this. That must have literally felt like the end of the world.
Imagine living back here out in the day. Lonely life, but something very peaceful about the solitude, that's for sure. It's so cold. It's amazing how cold it gets out in the outback at night. Phew, I think it got down to like 1 degree last night, so It was really nice being able to sleep on this stretcher bed. A lot more, obviously, cushioned than I'm used to, because I'm used to sleep. The last 3 nights I've been sleeping on the ground, but basically I've just laid my sheepskin bedroll from Peak Oil Company on top, and that gave me a beautiful, nice kind of mattress to lie on. And then I used my Nevegear -6 quilt, so plenty of warmth there. I'll leave a link in the description for both of these products, but they're really good. I just wanted to give a shout out. I really need to give a shout out to Fenix. Now, they hit me up a while back and asked me if I would be interested in head torch. A lot of the time I get hit up by companies and I don't really follow through with it because I may not necessarily need their products, or I'm not interested, but Fenix actually makes some really good stuff. So this is a cool head torch that they sent out to me, and basically I like it because it can also be a hand torch as well. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Fenix, thank them for sending that out to me, and check out their stuff as well if you're interested. They actually do quality lights. Beautiful. Anyway, I might make up some quick brekkie before I head on out of here, but it's just been beautiful to stay in such a remote hut and just imagine what it would have been like for some of the old fellas back in the day, and big respects to the fella who built this hut, that's for sure. Not too bad. There's a visitor's book you can fill out when you pass through here, and there's lots of great little messages from people. And yeah, to finish off this trip, it's nice just to put a message in here. And I've written a beautiful spot to spend the night, so much history to learn about. We must never let the memory of the old ways pass away. The Bearded Bushranger.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoy Australian history, make sure to check out my other videos where I discover more about the old ways of the bush. And don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe.